you enjoy my socialism. Can y'all please show the Crackhead Barney interview with Zoran? Yes. I got a ton of enjoyment out of this over the weekend. Zoran Mandani is just running a phenomenal campaign. He was the earliest, I think, of any mayoral candidate to basically max out on matching funds. So he said for the rest of this primary campaign, don't donate money to me. And he's just trying hard to work the ground game because he does have some areas to make up. Cuomo is still ahead by a lot in polling. Now, we've seen how that can fail. I think this is much more what it feels like the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez race in 2018 versus Joe Crowley, where if you're able to turn out non-traditional voters and if you're able to motivate people who aren't being picked up by polling, you can overcome those massive gaps. And Zoran is doing a phenomenal job in that way. So this woman, and by the way, I guess this is not safe for work. So a lot of language used here. She's a performance artist called Crackhead Barney. And she the person that Piers Morgan booked once?
I really don't know.
This person before? I don't know. But she's just kind of a New York City performance artist who comes up and interviews people in a bit of a provocative, satirical way. And a lot of politicians wouldn't have had the cool, calm demeanor that Zoran Mandani does here, where he's able to get his message across effectively.
Thank you.
Zoran, don't do this shit. Zoran, you're not the biggest fucking influencer in the city. What do you think about me storming the mayoral forums? Are you mad? Are you mad at me?
I'm not mad.
What do you think about it? You think I'm cloud chasing? You think I'm annoying? what do you think? Come on, give me a real answer.
The first time I was scared because I did not know who you were.
And now you know who I am.
And now I expect you at the forums.
Okay, good. And what are your other candidates saying? Are they hating me?
I think they also expect you at this point.
Oh, great. So Zoran, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck? Because you just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, who is this guy? Who the fuck are you?
So I'm a state assembly member.
Okay. Okay.
I was elected in 2020, took office in 2021.
Okay.
And right now I am running on a platform to make New York City more affordable.
Okay, Zoran, what are you going to do for black people? What are you going to do for the niggas?
What we're seeing...
Black trannies, people like me, annoying in their underwear, what are you going to do?
Look, every single person in this city deserves to afford to call this city their home. And what we've seen in a crisis of inequality, where 1 in 4 New Yorkers are in poverty, where 500,000 children are going to bed hungry, is there's a disproportionate impact on black New Yorkers. From 2010 to 2019, we saw nearly 20% decline in the population of black children and teenagers, and that's because of how expensive we made this city. We are losing the fabric of what we love about this city, and we need to make sure that for black New Yorkers who want to raise their kids here, this is the most affordable and easiest place to do so, because right now, that's not the case.
Okay, Zoran, would you fuck me? Are you married?
Yes.
Who are you married to? A white woman, Latina, Arab?
She's Arab.
And what are you? Are you Arab, Indian? What are you? You look ambiguous. You look weird. You look weird. What the fuck are you?
I'm an Indian, Ugandan, New Yorker.
Okay, so you're African American. So would you claim the African American status like Elon Musk?
No, I would not.
Why not? You're African, but you're African, right? I knew you grew up there.
I am.
Your middle name is Kwame.
I am. I'm proud to be Ugandan. But I think that is misleading.
And whether misleading.
All right, I think we get the gist. I just wanted to get to that part where he's like, I think that's misleading. Handled that really well. You know, she's a character, very New York character. And I liked getting to know him a little bit better. And I didn't know that about his background. But also, it's a fun clip to kind of talk about the overall story about what happened over the weekend in this race. I just sent some footage if we want to play this a little bit. Over the weekend, the Working Families Party endorsed 4 New York City mayoral candidates, including Zoran Mandani, but also Adrian Adams, Brad Lander, and Zellner Myrie. This is important because in the 2021 mayoral primary, there was not a lot of strategy, and there was an effort at the 11th hour basically to coalesce behind Maya Wiley, but it was way too late, and Eric Adams had already kind of taken the mantle and won over different constituencies and ended up being the candidate, and we also saw how disastrous that was. Why I'm a fan of this strategy is that it's making clear what voters who are opposed to particularly Andrew Cuomo winning in this primary need to do. And they're using this acronym DREAM. Don't rank Eric or Andrew for mayor. And this is really important for people to understand. In ranked choice voting, to maximize the efficacy of your ballot, you have to fill out all 5 slots. But if you don't want Andrew Cuomo to win, and Eric Adams to a lesser degree, I think he's a little bit cooked, but for argument's sake, leave them both off. And just for, the sake of the city, leave them both off. To maximize the strength of your ballot, you have to fill out all 5 slots, but not with either of those 2 candidates. So with Zoran Mandani being the clear frontrunner of the 4 WFP endorsed candidates, it makes it so that it's less likely, if the word gets out here, that somebody might rank Zoran 1 and then Andrew Cuomo 2 just based on name recognition, or Eric Adams 2 or 3, whatever, which would strengthen Cuomo's count in the second round in ranked choice voting. But here's a bit of the rally over the weekend with these 4 candidates walking arm in arm at a press conference. So you see there, I think this is really good for Zoran, selfishly. Obviously, rank him first. And then some combination of the WFP slate, and also Ramos is a candidate that you can throw in there. But it's really important for people to understand not to rank Andrew Cuomo at all. You may know him by name recognition, and you may rank him 5th out of 5. But don't do that. Don't rank him at all.
You may not do that.
Yeah, or please don't. But please do fill out all 5 slots. I hope that's clear for people.
It's interesting, I'm in the tank for Zoran. It's interesting that they only named 4 when there's 5 spots available, and Ramos didn't get that, who I would have assumed would have gotten a nod there. I wonder what. I'm not super interested, but I am vaguely curious about what happened there.
I'm vaguely curious as well, but we shall see. Some reporting will likely come out about it. Teacher Dan, 20, please keep spreading the word about how to keep Cuomo off the ballot. Sooner or later, he'll start blaming Soros too, I bet. The Millrine. Emma, what you're describing is bullet voting in the non-ranked choice context. For example, if you could only vote up to 2, then but you want 1 to win, you only vote 1 and you undervote the ballot. All right, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but my point earlier still stands in terms of the strategy going into this race. Nassau County spokesperson. Did you guys see New York WFP endorsements? Adrian Adams over Ramos. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep. I'm a fan of Working Families Party. I think they could strengthen their case by, say, leaving. I think both Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand were they on the WFP slot this time around?
Probably Gillibrand.
But, with this kind of resurgence of energy within the base, I could see them moving away from, broadening who's allowed under their umbrella just to kind of strengthen the party. I could see them being more selective in the coming years. Will from Indiana, he's so good at this, even though he may not win this go around. I'm praying he does, of course. I think he's setting the blueprint not only for himself, but future Democratic, socialist, and left-wing candidates, as well as Kat Abugazala running in Illinois' 9th district. It's clear the playbook is getting set before our eyes, especially dealing with things like AIPAC and fascism. One of the few things that gives me hope in this time, left is best.
Another day, another Trump attack on basic freedoms. This time, targeting Palestinian activist and green card holder Mahmoud Khalil, who helped lead the Columbia University protests. But if you go to ground.news/majority, you're going to see how some outlets paint him as a radical threat, while others call out Trump's crackdown on dissent. The story hasn't changed, but the way it's told completely changes your perspective, the exact problem our partners at Ground News solve. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website let you compare coverage from across the spectrum with context on how political bias, financial incentives, and even blind spots shape the narrative. Especially with so much of our media being driven by billionaire and political agendas, propaganda has become one of the most powerful weapons today. But Ground News is independent and nonpartisan, only committed to helping us think critically on the news, shaping everything from public opinion to policy. And since I can't cover every single attack on our rights, I've curated feeds that track key issues and trusted sources. This way, I know I'm bringing my viewers reliable information. Go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to see it in action for yourself. Because this story is bigger than just one activist being detained. It's about how media bias controls what you see and think. My viewers get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for nearly half the cost, knocking the price down to just $5 a month. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.